Hey, thank you for joining me again. It's Chanoa with A Crafty Mess and owner of Briquet and More. I want to thank you for taking the time to stop by. Today we're going to be making crock gibbets. If this is your first time joining me, welcome and thank you. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and make sure that notification bell is on. So we're going to hop right into it. I'm going to try not to be so wordy and talk so much, but I talk a lot. I'm pretty thorough, so, you know, although I'll try and keep it short, you may end up just getting a long video. All right, so these are the gibbet pieces that I worked on the other day. They're not perfect. They do have some defects in them, but that is because I'm super impatient. I did not wait for my resin to fully cure before I started handling them again, and so they definitely are trial and error, okay? But let's get into what you're going to need to do this project. All right, y'all, so you will need shrink plastic for this particular project because I want to have lots and lots of details, and I want for the images to look like the original images. I'm going to be using the inkjet plastic, and that's by the Shrinky Dinks brand. The reason I'm using that, like I said, is because I can just print out the images directly onto this plastic, and I don't have to worry about trying to trace or draw it myself, so that works perfect. That's the plastic I'm going to be using. You'll also need some glue. I'm going to be using Gorilla, the all-purpose household glue. You'll need some gibbet backs. So these are the backs that we're going to put onto the charms so that we can put them into the crocks. You'll need Mod Podge so that you can seal your images before we apply our coating. And then you'll need to figure out whether you want to do resin, epoxy, or if you want to do like a UV resin. I'm going to be using a 2-part epoxy for this, but that is completely your choice. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the plastic. This plastic is going to shrink down to about 1/3 of its original size, so keep that in mind when making your charms. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit. That means if you start off with, say, a 3-inch piece, it's going to shrink down to about 1/3 of its size, which would make the finished product about a 1-inch piece. Okay, you have to be able to heat this plastic in order to shrink it, so you will need an oven. You can use your home oven. I have a craft oven that I use for my sublimation tumblers, so I'll be using that to shrink the plastic, and I already have that preheated to 325 degrees. The other thing that's important to know about using shrink plastic, and that's whether it's going to be the printable or the clear or rough and ready plastic. Whatever color you put on it, when you shrink it down, it's going to saturate and get really dark. So when printing out your images, before you print them out, you're going to want to go into your settings and lighten the colors of your print before you print it out, because if you don't, especially when you're using images with brown or darker skin, what's going to happen is once it's shrunken down, it is going to be so dark that you will have difficulty seeing the details in the image. All right, so I have my oven warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and print out the images that I'll be using for these charms, and then we'll go ahead and get it to the next step, which is putting it into the oven. Okay, so I went ahead and printed my images out on the plastic. This one I didn't like the way they turned out too much. I'm still going to use it for purposes of completing the video, but you can see that the details, they didn't come out as good as I wanted. So I think that I lightened the color a little bit too much on that one. So this is the one that, the second print, and I decided to go ahead and keep that. I just went ahead and took my scissors and hand cut around the images in sort of a general shape that I want them. And now the next thing is we're going to go ahead and take these pieces over into the next room where our craft oven is. Okay, so we have the plastic in the oven. Hey guys, you can see my little hands. It's curling. Once it stops curling, then that means that it's gonna go ahead and just flatten out on its own. And then when I take it out, I'm going to then take this little glass vase that I have and just show you, just kind of put it on top of the pieces like that and flatten them out so that they're nice and straight. So I'm just gonna wait for these to finish and then we'll take the next step. See, I just take this vase and press it down onto the pieces to kind of flatten them out. That one doesn't want to cooperate too much, so that one may be a no-go, but the other ones seem to have flattened out quite nicely. So then now we're just going to let these cool down. Okay, they're flattened. They're hard. You can hear. So if you would like it this time, you can paint the back of your pieces black if you want it to match with the little gibbet pieces. But what I'm going to be doing right now is adding some Mod Podge. So I have these little like plates that I get from Dollar Tree. I love them because then I can just squirt a little of this Mod Podge on the plate. And then you're going to use a little paintbrush and add a coat of Mod Podge on top of your image. And this is going to help seal the image and help give the resin something to hold on to. Otherwise, what'll end up happening is your resin just kind of like pops off. So we're going to do that with all of these pieces, and then we're going to set those aside so that they can dry. Alright guys, so next step, I've taken the pieces now that the Mod Podge has dried. I've mixed up a tiny bit of epoxy in this little cup here, and then I'm taking the pieces and using a popsicle stick or craft stick. I am gently just making sure that the epoxy gets to all of the top of the piece. I really should be using some protective gear, but as you can see, I'm taking some chances here. All right, we're going to go ahead and do this for all of the pieces and allow for them to set up and cure for at least 24 hours. I am going to do my very, very, very best not to bring my tail in here and start messing with this stuff before it's cured. But I can admit that I'm not very good at that. I'm very impatient. So this time I'm going to do my best because I really want them to turn out nice. And I want you guys to see what the full potential of it can be. Not just something that I just threw together because I wanted to make something and make a video. So we're going to let these pieces cure, and then we'll be back in 24 hours. All right, y'all, it's the next day. So I wanted to show you what they're looking like right now. Okay, I'm going to shine these up a bit. Made some smaller ones. Okay, and then so now that these have all cured, what I'm going to do is go ahead and add the little backings to them. I'm not going to do them all on camera. I have some that I did beforehand. I know this is so not in focus right now, but essentially I'm just going to take this Gorilla Glue and apply it to the back piece and then adhere that to the actual charm itself. And then I'm going to let it set up for another 24 hours so that I know that they are fully secured. But there you have it, guys. These are DIY gibbets. Hopefully you guys will give them a try and tell me how it worked out for you. All right, this is Genoa with the Crafty Mess signing out. I'll see you guys next time. Again, thank you for joining me. Bye.